Okay, y'all, welcome to my channel. Welcome back to my channel if you're new. Today I have a juicy slash messy story time for y'all, and I'm gonna have some video receipts posted later on, like as I'm telling the story. And yeah, so get your popcorn, get your juice, your soda, your brisk, your pickles, whatever you like to snack on, and let's get into the story. Backstory is on this guy. We're gonna call him we'll call him Milk Dud. Yes, we're gonna call him Milk Dud because that's what he looked like in basic training when he got his head shaved. All the guys in basic training had their head shaved, and that's where I met him. So I met him, I met Milk Dud in basic training, and we would talk from time to time, but it was never on nothing like too crazy because the drill sergeants really didn't like females and males interacting. It was more so like what they would call fraternization. So we would like have to sneak and talk to each other, or if we were doing an activity or training, like sit close to each other and talk that way. I'm like, oh, he's cute or whatever, but I never really pursued him in a way because I believe one of my friends that was in my platoon, she also had a crush on him or whatever. I think they had wrote like letters back and forth through basic. So I was like, I'm that type of friend, like, if my friend likes a guy and I have not pursued him, but I still like him, I'm going to back off. I feel like that's just the respectful thing to do and the mature thing to do. Like, I feel like it's really childish when females try to go behind their friend back and try to pretty much steal that guy. I have a story time on how I did that to a friend, but that was years ago, so don't judge me. But anyways, back into the story. So everyone in basic looking ugly. So if you find someone attractive in basic training, more than likely you like what they look like when they're in regular clothes. We didn't really get our phones throughout basic training. Like, I hear a lot of people talk about some, oh, we got like 5 phone calls, we had to be on our phones for this long, XYZ. We did not get our phones that long, and the service where we lived at sucked anyways. That's why I dropped T-Mobile, because they had me messed up. But anyways, fast forward the story. We are finishing up training, well, basic training, and it's family day and then graduation day. So of course both days we have our phones. After graduation, everyone's about to leave, so like people packing up and things like that, and they're not as harsh on us, so everyone exchanging Snapchats, Facebooks, numbers and stuff. So me and him ended up exchanging, you know, contact information. After that, we all went to our schools at different bases. He was at a different base, I was in a completely different base, and we would text on and off like throughout training. But he had a girlfriend and I was dealing with someone, so it wasn't really like nothing serious. Fast forward a year, mind you, we've been flirting for like a year. He's like, oh, what are you doing for winter break? I'm like, I'm probably just gonna stay here in Texas. As you guys probably already know or don't know, I was stationed at Fort Hood and I loved it. I absolutely hate Campbell, but that's another story. And so I'm like, no, I'm just chill. He's like, oh, you should come back home to my hometown with me, like come see me, this and the third. And in my mind, I'm like, he playing, but he was really dead ass. I was like, I really don't want to travel. Like, I really meant that. Like, I just really wanted to chill and relax, like, you know, be off and stuff. So he was like, oh, I'll come to you. I'll spend 1 week with my family and spend my 2nd week with you in Texas. So I'm like, okay, cool, like that works. We can go out, do this, do that. We're texting, FaceTiming. Mind you, I'm off, he's off, and we're talking a lot more consistently. Then it's like 2 days before he's supposed to come see me in Texas. Oh, excuse me. He goes, oh, my grandfather is in the hospital. I don't think I can make it. My brother just had surgery. Mind you, this is new news to me. Like, we've been talking every day at this point, and like every month, like for the past year. You never said anything about your grandfather being in the hospital. When he first got into the hospital, you never said anything about your brother having surgery or anything about a surgery. So I thought it was kind of weird. I was like, okay. Then so I'm like, okay, well, if you still want to see me, how about we use the ticket credit and I fly there instead? And so he's like, okay, yeah, that's cool. So literally that flight was for the very next morning. At this point, it's like 10:30 at night. I had to be in Austin, Texas, which was an hour and some change away from my house by 6 in the morning. I'm like, what in the fucks? I'm hurry up trying to pack clothes, like find outfits, put shit together, and I was like, oh fuck, I need a ride. I call my homegirl. I'm like, hey, we will call her Jay. I was like, Jay, can you take me to the airport or whatever? I'm going out of town, da 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 da. She like, bitch, when did you decide to go out of town? Like, this is like, did you bet know about this or whatever the case may be? I was like, no, like XYZ. I told her whole backstory. So she's like, yeah, I'll take you. I was like, okay, cool, I'll pay you, I'll give you gas money or whatever. She's like, okay. Long story short, I end up making the flight. And I land there in his hometown. I'm not gonna say his hometown because probably people that went to basic training with me probably gonna eventually see this video whenever, but I don't want them to put two and two together. So I get to Milk Dud's hometown. When I finally see him, I'm all nervous. I walk up to the car and he just give me that typical like airport hug, like you've been waiting to meet this person or you have not seen your boyfriend or girlfriend in a very long time, like booty grab, like not no just peck on the lips, but like you know what I'm saying, let's keep it PG-13 here. Anyways, so he put my bag in the car. I get in the front seat and I was like, oh shit, like there's other people in the car. And I said hey or whatever. So it turns out it was his sister, her boyfriend, and his brother. Like, keep that in mind, it was his brother too. And they're like, oh hey, how you doing? Like everybody was mad cool. I'm like, okay, this is gonna be like a fun trip. Everybody seemed cool. We go to his sister's house because that's where we were going to be staying versus like paying for a hotel and all this stuff. Like we both were privates and broke. Okay, we had no money like that. We get there, I get my stuff out the car. I'm like, hey, I've been flying all day. Like, is it cool I take a shower? He's like, yeah. Like, matter of fact, I need to take a shower too. So I was like, I already know what he's trying to do. His sister had her own bathroom, so it's like no one was waiting on us to hurry up and finish like out the bathroom type of shit. So we get, you know, in there. We get in the shower. He washed my bag, I wash his bag type deal. And yeah, we do the do in the shower. We do the do outside the shower. Finally get dressed. I'm like, look, you don't have my hair a hot mess. Like, we need to stop. We got a couple days to continue or whatever. Then that night we ended up going to get something to drink. We got like some, what did we eat that night? I can't remember, but getting something to eat, like everybody drinking, we playing games, like it's so like cool. Wake up the next day, he ends up taking me over to his grandparents' house. Mind you, granddaddy's supposed to be sitting there, and I ain't catch it at first about the brother. Mind you, the brother was there too. He quote unquote just had surgery. It's like a light bulb went off, like, oh shit, like he really just lied type deal. So how's it that your grandfather, so I finally figured out what exactly it was. So his grandfather quote unquote had a heart attack, but a day or two later he was out shooting guns. Like, he's up living his best life. It don't seem like he had a heart attack. Like, what in the world? And you told me you could not come because he was still in the hospital. So at this point, I'm like, when did he get out the hospital? I'm thinking it's all in my head as I'm still trying to carry on conversation with the grandmother. I'm like, Milk Dud really just lied to me. Like, and then I was like, his brother had surgery. I wonder what kind of surgery it is. So I was like thinking in my head how to ask without asking type deal, right? So I was like, man, I really could hit this nigga in his shit because you really just lied to me, and I really don't want to turn up on you at your folks' house because I don't know y'all and y'all might be crazy. It's one of me and all of y'all. So I'm like, all right, I'm gonna just let it go. So we ended up going back to his sister's house that night. His mom ends up coming over and she cooked for me while I was there. I'm gonna insert like the seafood bowl or whatever right here on the side that she made for us or whatever. And we ended up drinking and going out that night. We're trying to go out that night. His sister and her boyfriend got to arguing and we ended up not even going out. But that night he did tell me, I don't know how I brought the conversation up or what happened, but I ended up finding out his brother had wisdom tooth surgery. And I'm like, in my mind, that's not really a serious ass surgery, so why would you have to stay in town and you already been here for a week with your family. Like, so it was like, okay. Yet again, didn't say nothing, let it go. Okay, you got it. Then the next day comes, he takes me out on this like amazing date. Took me to the beach, took me to the boardwalk, took us to the arcade. We went to breakfast, we went to lunch. Then I ended up flying home. I flew from there to Atlanta. Atlanta was my only connected flight. Now it's going back to Texas. I get to Atlanta, and like any person would do as they getting off the plane, you know, you texting that person like, hey, I just made it to this airport and I board at this time or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So you could let people know you're okay. I get there, I sent him a message, it did not deliver. I was tired, so I didn't think nothing of it. Get home, went to sleep. Next day, I was just like kind of like lounging around. I look at my phone, it did not deliver. At this point, I'm like, something seems off. You know how like your womanly intuition, even guys have intuition too, I ain't gonna just say woman, start going off. Like your senses start getting stronger by something's not right, something's off, like this out the norm type deal. At this point, I'm calling him and it's going to voicemail. I'm sending him a text, it's not delivering. I'm like, yo, he really just blocked me. My homegirl Jay, I'm like, hey, let me use your phone. I'm going to call him from your phone. Tell me why that shit wrong. And I knew at that moment he had blocked me. And I was like, what did I do to him? Because we had a great time, an amazing time. And that was our first time outside of training, like actually seeing each other, spending time with each other. So I'm like, something's wrong, something's off. So I forgot to include this in the story. While I was there, I added his mom on Facebook and his sister on Facebook and Snapchat. Something just told me, girl, you need to get on social media. Social media is something there you're looking for. I get on social media. At first, I looked up his profile. Nothing came up, like user not found type of deal. And mind you, we were Facebook friends and all this other stuff. Hold on, y'all. Okay guys, I'm back. I brought a guest with me. He just woke up from his nap. I really wanted to finish the story time for you guys. Yeah, it's the dedication for me. But anyways, where was I at? What was I saying? So immediately I knew something was wrong. I went to social media and I'm scrolling. And you know how those posts with people that you're friends with, if it has a lot of interaction, it's usually like one of the first like 20 posts you see. So his mom had posted a picture. Y'all, tell me why it was a picture of him and this light-skinned girl, like really pretty light-skinned girl. And at first, I was scrolling so fast and I was just like shocked. I knew like something was off. I didn't get a chance to read the caption. I go to read the caption. It says, I am so happy that my son is able to pass on our last name to this beautiful young lady. I was like, these two are engaged? Like, what is going on? Then I'm scrolling through the rest of the pictures. So it's like, you know, it's usually like big picture and then like other little pictures. Tell me why it was pictures of her and him sitting in the same house, his grandparents' house. And at that point I'm like, wait, well, something ain't right. She was there, but she won't there. How? Like, that's the exact same setup. The Christmas tree still up. I'm like, where was this girl when I was there? So I hit his sister up. I'm telling her everything I found and what happened. And then she's like, yeah, I didn't want to tell you, but I really did. But you know, he's my brother or whatever. But at the same time, he's really cool. She was like, I just didn't want to get caught up in it. But she was like, she was here right before you were here. She said that Milk Dud had dropped her off. Oh, you don't want me to tell the story? Milk Dud had dropped her off that morning and I flew in that night. And that they were getting married. I was like, yo, I couldn't even be mad at the sister. I was like, thank you for telling me, and I hung up. At that point, I was like, the whole entire family was in on it. Like, It's no way y'all just seen another girl and another girl come in town. Y'all act like neither one of us like existed to each other. Like, they really played their part. Like, I just had to take my L like a G. That was the most craziest thing I've ever seen. Usually people try to not get involved, but these people's like all up in my face. I was like, yo, these people are really like tight-knit and got each other back. Like, we ain't snitching around here type deal. Like, but like I told y'all, I just had to take my L like a G. And yeah, to this day I don't talk to him. He somehow added me on Snapchat. I think he made like a new account, but don't talk to me. Not after no scandal like that. But anyways, that concludes the story time. I will be doing more like little juicy story times because, girl, I've been through some stuff. And yeah, I'll see you guys in my next video.